DJ Metal Craig of Craig's Maelstrom here. I have one of the members of Light Dweller with me today. Hey, how's it going? Would you like to introduce yourself and what position you do in the band? Hopefully, I got the band name right.
Yes, I am Cameron. I am the sole member behind Light Dweller. I write everything: guitar, vocals, bass. The drums are programmed along with all the synth. Don't play live. It's just purely a studio project at the moment. So that's how I'm able to do it just by myself. Been at it for a little over 7 years. About to release a fifth album. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
Right on. Welcome to Craig's Maelstrom. I'd like to thank Andrea, and I think it's Flowing Downward Music, but I'm not sure about the label. If I got the label mistaken, I'm very sorry about that, Andrea. But thank you, Andrea, for setting us up with this interview today. First question I got for you is please go back in the history of Light Dweller and how the band all got started.
Yeah, so it was December 2017 is when it started. I was playing locally in a band in Phoenix, Arizona called Knowing Roots. That band we played live. And I have just a lot of musical output, just like I have a lot of ideas that working with a group of people, I'm not able to put out everything that I want to. So 7 years ago, while playing in that band, Knowing Roots, I started Light Dweller as a side project. Knowing Roots eventually closed down shop for the time, or we entered it into a long hiatus. And then because of that, Light Dweller became my main thing for the last 7 years.
Right on. Who designed the Light Dweller band logo?
That was Bridget Lynch, and she's the vocalist of the band Stabbing. They've been doing a lot of cool stuff in the last couple of years. Yeah, she made that before I think before she was ever even in any band. So that's kind of a neat little trivia.
Don't mind me, I'm gonna grab a sip of coffee myself.
You're good.
How did you come up with the band name Light Dweller?
Light Dweller was an old Knowing Roots song. So I came up with that in 2014, so like 10 and a half years ago or so. It was an instrumental song at the time, 10 and a half years ago for the old band. So there wasn't really any lyrical concept behind it at the time. But then I just kind of more so like repackaged the meaning for Light Dweller, the band. Basically, like the meaning, like the very loose meaning behind it is someone who tries to bask, for lack of a better term, just like surround themselves in positivity, but it's not really working. It's just not. They're like just like a pessimistic person, and they're like lying to themselves and fooling themselves that things are good and they're like dwelling in the light, but like things just suck around them. That's kind of the idea behind the name.
Just so you guys know, I thought the music you have is cool and awesome. I consider you a mix of depressive black metal meets death metal for your genres, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely, especially with the first EP for sure.
Okay, cool. What are the band's immediate music career goals?
So that's a tough question. Historically, to make a living off of music, anyone who plays music knows how much of a pipe dream that is. So to answer the question, I don't really have too much of a concrete goal. I've already reached it just releasing music that I like online, and people like it themselves and follow it, and some of them will buy the music. Uh, so yeah, hopefully that answers that. But I don't have like a big grandiose kind of long term goal anymore.
You still there?
Yeah.
Okay, Katie, you might
Did
have
I
to
get cut
repeat
off?
part of the answer because your Skype side froze up a little bit. Like the Skype froze up on us there for a moment.
Oh damn. Okay. So the goal. I'll just re-answer that whole question. So historically, my goal with music, as like a lot of people, would be to make a living off music. Anyone who plays music would know how much of a pipe dream that is. So to answer the question, I don't really have too much of a grandiose kind of goal with music. I'm kind of already reached it, and that is just making music that I like and then put it out on the internet, and then some people will like it, some people will buy it. So I've pretty much already, I guess, reached that goal. Yeah, just going to continue for however long. I don't think I'll get bored of writing Light Dweller anytime soon, so I'll just keep going at it.
Right. What are the plans for the band's foreseeable future, music-wise?
Music-wise, aside from just writing more music, I want to change the direction a little bit, make it a little bit more obscure, heavier. It's mostly just like a change in style, and the ideas in my head are like extremely loose. I haven't written anything new. It's just I have a lot of ideas, and oftentimes I'll open up Cubase and start trying to write something, and like whatever idea that I had like just does not work out well at all. So then I'll just like kind of change the ideas as I go. But I have like an extremely loose idea of how I want the future stuff to sound, but it probably will end up sounding a little different than what I think it will be now, if that makes sense. But to answer the question, it's mostly the future. It's just a stylistic change, really.
Okay, cool. You mentioned your sound. If you had an option to improve your sound at all, what would you do to make it sound different and better than what you already have?
Better in, I would say, maybe outsource some of the production, mixing and mastering. It's very expensive though, so who knows if I'll do that. And then beyond that, just try to write riffs that are like a little bit out of my wheelhouse. Just kind of sounds that I've never really attempted before.
If you had a band gear endorsement you'd like to pursue, who would you like to pursue for your band gear endorsement if you could get one?
Like an endorsement.
Yeah, as an instrument, microphone, whatever you think you like to be endorsed by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the the most comparable endorsement for a project like this would probably be Neural DSP, which it's not an instrument, it's a software amp simulation, because that's what I use for this most recent record. In terms of actual tangible instruments, I would have to go with Washburn guitar. That's what I currently use. I've been using that for like 17 years. It's a good. I have a guitar that I really like that I've used for everything. So Washburn is like one of my favorite guitars because of that. So I would like an endorsement from them.
And just so you know, as a musician myself, I actually, if I could get a chance, would like to be endorsed by Shure microphones. I have a Shure 87A Beta over here, small condenser microphone for my vocals. I actually was doing a show on 666 night here in my town. And you're gonna laugh at this. I had the mic about that far away from me. I wanted to do a high shriek, like the grindcore style. I blew the PA speaker out. I was so loud.
Oh damn!
that
You said that was a condenser mic.
was a that was the Shure 87A Beta small condenser microphone. I had about that far away from me at the show, and I did a high shriek, and the PA speaker went punk. And part of the reason why that happened was because the sound tech didn't have the level set right. I peaked the sound system, and the PA speaker blew out because of that.
Oh shit! Damn, I'm only familiar with dynamic mics. Like this is the SM58 right here. So yeah, I'm always like having to be so conscious about how close I am, my face to the microphone. I have no experience with compressor mics, and that actually is something I want to use for any future music. So that kind of answers one of the previous questions of how I'll change stuff in the future. Condenser mics.
Okay. Just also one other thing with that Shure 87, I actually have to be very careful because I know for myself, I taught myself how to do vocals without a microphone, so I have a powerful set of lungs on me. That's why I have to be careful when I'm doing it live with the mic. That's why I never cup the mic, because if I cup it, I know for a fact it'll peak, because how powerful my lungs are.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've had to learn vocals not screaming into a microphone, just like screaming inside like a bedroom like this or an apartment. Rarely do I ever get the opportunity to like scream into a PA myself.
Sorry, just lost my question, my place in question with the shooting the shit with you there a little bit on that one. All right,
Yeah.
on my place. Who are the band's musical influences?
At the moment, I would say um, Cosmic Putrefaction is a big one. They're one man band just like me. Convulsing, also another one man band. Um, Defacement is one band that I really like at the moment. They're an actual band that plays live with like full members and everything. Them, Mericognitum, a little bit more melodic than the ones I just listed. Um, Artificial Brain. That historically that one was Artificial Brain was like the first like big influence for Light Dweller years ago. Um, yeah, off the top of my head, those are 5 bands that are in pretty heavy rotation.
I know one you might know of that might ring up in there in your arsenal. I don't know if you heard of them. They just lost one of their members not too long ago. Oliver.
Over, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't recall any of their songs. I know I've listened to them at some point in life, but they're not a band that I can really remember too much. But I definitely know of them.
Okay. I actually spin some of their stuff on air when I'm doing shows at times because I love them so much. They're a great ambient slash atmospheric black style band, in my opinion.
Nice.
What are the band's plans? Any new music in the works for the near future, such as possible splits, EPs, possibly another full length, or a possible best of compilation from you guys at some point?
Most likely the next release will just be a full length album, unless some band reaches out to me for a split. Um, Historically, I've only released full length albums, except for the first release that was an EP. So to answer the question, full length album will be the next thing. As far as any material, I don't have anything written. Like a month ago, I started writing something, so I have like maybe 30 seconds of material. But beyond that, I'm pretty much just starting from scratch. I may wait a month because that's when the album comes out. I may wait till that's released and then hear all the feedback from that, and then kind of get myself stoked on it again, and then start writing again. So maybe like in a couple months, I'll start writing. And
Who
then
came
that
up with? Sorry, go ahead, finish. I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy.
oh, you're good. I was just gonna say, if I start writing in like 2 months from now, then maybe like a year and a half to 2 years will probably result in another full length album.
The next one I was going to ask you about the new album. Who came up with the Subjugate album art?
I came up with the idea, and then Adam Burke painted it. But I just doodled, just like a really crude doodle on just like a piece of paper, and then just sent it to him, and then he just painted it up. But the concept was made by me.
Okay, just so you know, I thought the album art was pretty cool that you had done as a painting. I didn't even know it was a painting until you mentioned that there. I thought it was a cool actual album art though, in general.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Adam Burke painted that. He did my last album too.
Who came up with the album title for the album Subjugate?
That was also me. Mhm.
So you did the album title yourself?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The whole all the lyrical content, the theme, everything. It was all done by me. The only like outsourcing of anything really was Adam Burke just making the art.
Right on. And if you're cool, I'm going to get you to talk about one of the two songs I jammed off the website for the album download link that I had available to me through the label. song I want you to talk about is what were the themes and concepts behind the song "Phasing Through the Veil"?
Yeah, so the whole album is a concept album of essentially someone, no one in particular, is like a fill in the blank kind of character, but someone being murdered and then not being able to accept that reality and essentially being stuck in purgatory for the end of existence. And each track is like it goes in sequential order from like death to just floating it throughout space for the end of time. Phasing through the veil is like that's like the step where like the character phases into purgatory, like officially through like a portal into just nothingness for the rest of time.
Cool. If you're okay, then can we jump back into the album you did in 2022?
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind talking about the album titled "Lucid Offering"?
Yeah, I not gonna lie, that was 2.5 years ago that we released it, so I kind of don't 100% remember the lyrical content, but that was also another concept album. And if memory serves me right, it was regarding, for lack of a better term, just someone who's like very mentally unhealthy, just a lot of psychosis, and um, I think it was like a split personality kind of thing, and someone speaking to them throughout their whole life. Um, and the lucid offering by concept was this character viewing themselves as like a sacrifice to their other persona, so to speak. So like they are an offering to them.
Cool. Just so you know, I actually jammed "Lucid Offering" album before the interview, and I thought it's absolutely sick and amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's very tight. It's got a good sound. The vocals are absolutely sick. I just love it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I don't know if I asked you this one about the Subject Gate album before. With the album clocking in at 3501, how have the reviews been so far for Subject Gate?
Um, I don't think anyone has heard the whole album yet, so I haven't been able to get like a full review. But I've shown people. We released um, the song that's currently up on Bandcamp right now. The first release track, the Avant-Garde Music, the label, released a music video of that a month ago on their YouTube channel, and the reception to that has been very positive. Also, just in my personal life, just showing people that song and also the whole album, but just like personally, everyone's liked it so far. Um, Everyone says it's a much it's like an exponential step up from the previous album in terms of like quality, just general quality.
And now we're going to go back to where we were talking about the 2002 album. Who designed the Lucid Offering album art, if you can remember who did that?
Yeah, so that also was Adam Burke. Unlike with my current album, The Subjugate, that one was actually already made. He already made the art on his own time, and I initially hit him up, or I was going to hit him up for him to make me something, but then I just saw him listing it on Instagram for sale, and it just the art just like fit perfectly with my concept, so I just immediately just asked to buy it off of him for I think it was like 700 or so. So that was just a very quick transaction right then and there. But yeah, it was Adam Burke who made it, but there was no collaborative effort with the making of that art.
Cool. This next one I'm going to throw in as a little bit of an extra tonight. What's your opinion on AI designed art?
Um, I don't like it. It doesn't look as good, just straight up, like just aesthetically, it doesn't look as good. But then also, of course, like the principle behind it. Of course, it's very convenient to use it if you do use it. You can just get a final product with the snap of a finger. But yeah, like you're taking money away from someone who could work on a product for you, and it just devalues artists, like actual like painter, like that kind of visual artist is what I mean. And for any musician who goes that route, it's like that's going to bite you in the ass later because AI. There's already people who are using AI to make music. So a musician using AI for artwork, it's just kind of hypocritical because it's going to happen to the musicians too. Like we're going to be kind of pushed out a little bit from the scene.
Me personally, I think the AI is going to basically destroy all the chance for the artists who are actually being paid to design the art that are actually good graphics art designers, man. That's how I feel about it.
I 100% agree. Mm-hmm.
Are there any plans to go on tour if you were to decide to put together a full band lineup to tour?
Probably not tour ever, but I've had vague ideas of playing live in general over the past 7 years. There's a lot of different routes of how I can explain this, but basically just finding members is really difficult. Finding a drummer mostly is the most difficult part, and with each release that I do, that I write, I kind of double down on the one man band bedroom kind of status of like a project. Like you can write music that would sound cool, but it's not that fun to play live. So over the years, I keep thinking like maybe I'm not going to play Light Dweller live, so maybe I'll just make this as crazy as I can and not translatable live. So like a perfect example of what I mean is a good like 25% of the percussion on this new album is like electronic sounding drums. So even if I do get a drummer, I don't even know how to play that stuff live. So if I ever do play live, I will probably have to just do a drum machine. So with that said, I don't know if I'll ever play live or not, but if it does happen, it'll probably be a drum machine.
I see, man. And I missed one about the Lucid Offering album, or album that I was going to get to talk about. And that was my favorite song off the album. What were the themes and concepts on the song Homino?
Hominal. So that was I released that like 4.5 years ago. So just like with Lucid Offering, I kind of don't remember like specifically, but I basically that album's somehow or another related to like human nature. That one was not a concept album though. I would really have to revisit the lyrics on that album, but yeah, it was essentially each song is like explaining like a different component of what I view as like human nature, or like something that would describe how humans act.
I see, that's cool, man. This was 3 more for the interview, and I'll need the station IDs. What do you have for social media network outlets the band can be reached on?
The usual Facebook, Instagram, and then as far as where you can stream the music, Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music, and then all the other like lesser known ones. Basically, whichever apps that DistroKid pushes music to, I'm on all those apps. But the big ones being Apple Music, Spotify, Bandcamp, for streaming music at least. And then as far as just like social media, Instagram and Facebook.
Do you have a YouTube channel? And if so, what can be found on there media-wise?
Technically, I do have a channel, but I don't use it ever, or rarely. The only content on there is years ago I was uploading the music directly to there, but I didn't know at the time when you sign up for like DistroKid or like CD Baby, just any like distributor, they automatically already post your stuff to YouTube. So my stuff is getting uploaded to YouTube either way. So I eventually stopped posting to YouTube. I think the only 2 videos I posted in the last like 4 or so years was a riff that me playing guitar, and then a vocal excerpt of this new album.
Right on. That leads me to the last question of the interview, and I'll get to do the station IDs after that. What new band news do you have on the Light Dweller front? As in anything we might have missed so far in this interview?
I'm sorry, what was the first part of that question?
What new band news do you have on the Light Dweller front? As in anything we might have missed so far in this interview, like as in any new band news coming up?
Honestly, not too much. Basically, I've been working all of the last year and a half on writing an album, and I've been sitting on it for quite a while because I was just trying to like figure out the logistics of its release. I was pitching it to record labels for a couple months. Avant-Garde picked me up to release it through their death metal division, Unorthodox Emanations. That was earlier this year. So basically all of 2024 was spent finalizing the album, like its production and everything, and then getting in contact with Avant-Garde Music. And then, like I was saying at the beginning of this interview, today we released the pre-order. So pretty much everything has led up to like today, and then we released the album on the 28th of February. So after that, I have to come up with whatever is new. So we're pretty much at like the final stage of we've been working on for quite a while. So that's kind of a long way to answer the question in that no particular new news because we released it just today. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And now we're going to get to do the first station ID, which is, hey, this is Cameron of Light Dweller, and you're listening to Mangled Music Radio. Whenever you're ready, buddy.
Mangled Music Radio. Okay. Hey, I'm Cameron from Light Dweller. Oh, let me say it again. I'm Cameron from Light Dweller, and you're listening to Mangled Music Radio.
The second one's from my personal show, Craig's Metal Storm, named after the Metal Storm video game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Whenever you're ready to do the station ID, similar to the one you just did.
Sorry, what was the line?
It's, hey, this is Cameron of Light Dweller, and you're listening to Craig's Metal Storm.
Metal Storm, okay. Hey, this is Cameron from Light Dweller, and you're listening. Sorry. Hey, this is Cameron from Light Dweller, and you're listening to Craig's Metal Storm.
Cool. Thank you very much for your time today, Cameron. And thank you to Andrea and Avant-Garde Music. You reminded me what label it was at the end. I screwed up the label name at the beginning. I'm very sorry, Andrea. But thank you to Andrea, and thank you to you for your time today and the interview in general. You have yourself a good rest of your night, buddy.
You as well. Thank you, Craig.